All right, so get this. We're diving deep into prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering.
Yeah, basically it's like the art of talking to AI. I've got this whole stack of guides, business tips.
Right.
There's even this article about prompt engineer. Like, that's becoming a job title.
Yeah, it's incredible how fast this whole field is evolving.
I know.
It really speaks to like the growing influence of AI
Oh, yeah.
in like every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely, and that's why we're here today.
Exactly.
To uncover the secrets to crafting these really effective prompts.
Yes.
These magic words that unlock AI's true potential.
Yeah.
So whether you're like a coding whiz or just curious about AI, this is for you.
Think about it this way. Every time you're interacting with AI,
Okay.
whether it's a chatbot, a search engine, even those like personalized recommendations you get online,
Right.
there's a prompt at play behind the scenes.
It's true.
Yeah.
So instead of us just like passively accepting whatever the AI throws our way, we can learn to guide its responses, get more precise results, really tap into its capabilities.
Exactly. And that's what prompt engineering is all about.
Okay.
It's that bridge between human intention
Yeah.
and machine output.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Sure.
What exactly is HEPT?
It's simpler than you might think.
Okay.
A prompt is basically the instruction or the question that you give to an AI model.
Okay.
Think of tools like ChatGPT.
Right.
You type in a prompt, and the AI generates a response based on that input.
So it's like giving the AI a task or like asking it a question.
Precisely. And just like with any communication, the clearer and more specific your prompt is,
Yeah.
the better the AI will understand what you want.
This makes me think of that game where you like whisper a phrase to someone.
Right, yeah.
And they whisper it to the next person.
Oh, yeah.
And on. And by the end, the message is totally garbled.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen with AI.
Absolutely. The OpenAI guide that we have here actually emphasizes that clarity is king. When it comes to prompt engineering,
Got it.
you need to be specific, detailed,
Yeah.
and leave no room for ambiguity.
So no beating around the bush.
Exactly.
Straight to the point.
It's almost like writing a legal contract.
You're saying.
Every word matters, and there's no room for misinterpretation.
But it's not just about telling the AI what you want.
Right.
It's also about like showing it right.
You're absolutely right. The guide recommends providing examples of the output format. If you're looking for,
Like,
do you want a bulleted list, a table, a paragraph?
Yeah.
Show the AI exactly what you have in mind.
so it's like giving the AI a template to follow.
Exactly. It helps the AI understand your expectations
Right.
and generate a response that meets your specific needs.
This is starting to click, but I'm also curious about the more advanced stuff.
Sure.
The study notes source mentions some really intriguing techniques,
Yeah.
like conditional prompts and role-playing.
Those are some of the really fun parts of prompt engineering, where it gets more creative and strategic.
Okay, so conditional prompts first. What's that all about?
It's basically like programming the AI to respond differently based on certain conditions.
Interesting.
You use if-then statements to guide its behavior.
So I could say something like, if the customer's order is over $100, offer free shipping.
Exactly. Or if the weather forecast predicts rain, suggest indoor activities.
Ah,
You're giving the AI the power to make decisions based on the information you provide.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like giving the AI a little bit of autonomy, right?
Exactly. It allows you to create more dynamic and interactive experiences with AI.
Cool.
And then there's role-playing,
Okay.
which is another fascinating technique.
I'm all ears. This one sounds especially intriguing.
With role-playing, you basically tell the AI to act like an expert in a specific field.
Okay.
It's like tapping into a specialized knowledge base.
So I could say something like, as a financial advisor, analyze my investment portfolio and suggest diversification strategies.
Precisely. Or, as a marketing expert, create a social media campaign for a new product launch.
Wow.
You're essentially leveraging the AI's vast knowledge, but directing it to answer from a particular perspective.
That opens up so many possibilities.
Yeah.
It's like having a team of experts at your fingertips, ready to answer your questions and offer advice.
And the best part is, as AI technology continues to evolve,
Yeah.
the capabilities of these models will only become more sophisticated and specialized.
This is already blowing my mind, and we're just getting started.
I know, right?
Okay, so we've covered the basics of what a prompt is,
Uh-huh.
and we've touched on some of the more advanced techniques like conditional prompts and role-playing.
Right.
But I have a feeling there's a lot more to uncover.
Oh, absolutely. We haven't even scratched the surface of the nuances
Yeah,
and complexities of prompt engineering.
I believe.
And that's what makes this field so fascinating. It's a constant journey of discovery and experimentation.
Well, I'm definitely ready to keep exploring,
Yeah.
and I'm sure our listeners are too.
Welcome back. Before we took a pause, we were talking about conditional prompts and role playing. Those are
Yeah.
great examples of how you can get like really creative and strategic with prompt engineering.
It's like we're moving beyond just giving the AI basic instruction.
Yeah.
We're starting to actually guide its decision-making and tap into its specialized knowledge.
Exactly. But even with these like more advanced techniques,
Okay.
the fundamental principles of clarity and specificity still apply.
Right.
In fact, the Art of the Ask article emphasizes that different AI models can respond differently
Really?
to the same prompt.
So it's like they have their own personalities.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Each AI model is trained on this massive data set of text and code.
Okay.
But those data sets can vary widely. So one model might be better at generating creative content,
Right.
while another might excel at summarizing factual information.
So it's not just about knowing how IW to write a prompt,
Right.
but also about understanding which AI model is best suited for the task at hand.
Exactly. It's like having a toolbox full of different tools. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw, right?
Right.
Same goes for AI models. You need to choose the right tool for the job.
This is making me realize that there's like a real art to prompt engineering.
Yeah,
It's not just about typing in a few words.
it's true.
It's about understanding the nuances of language AI and the task that you're trying to accomplish.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's why the OpenAI guide stresses the importance of being concise and direct.
Okay,
In your prompts, AI models thrive on clarity.
got it.
So every word should serve a purpose.
Okay, so let's talk specifics.
Sure.
What are some like common mistakes people make when crafting prompts?
One of the biggest mistakes is being too vague or ambiguous.
Yeah?
Remember, AI can't read between the lines. You need to be crystal clear about what you want.
So instead of saying, write a short story about a cat,
Right.
you should be more specific, like, write a 500-word children's story about a tabby cat who gets lost in the city and finds its way home.
Exactly. The more details you provide, the better the AI can understand your vision.
Makes sense.
And speaking of details, another common mistake is forgetting to provide context.
What do you mean by context?
Well, AI models don't have like inherent knowledge
Okay.
of the world or your specific needs. You need to give them the background information they need
Right.
to understand your request.
So if I'm asking the AI to write a blog post about marketing,
Yeah.
I shouldn't just say write a blog post about marketing.
Right.
I should tell it who the target audience is, what the key message is, what tone I want to convey.
Precisely, the more context you provide,
Yeah.
the more relevant and insightful the AI's response will be.
This makes me wonder, is there like a limit to how much information you can put in a prompt?
That's a great question. And the answer is yes, there is such a thing as too much information.
Okay.
If you try to cram too many instructions or details into a single prompt,
Yeah.
you might end up confusing the AI.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot,
Right.
being specific and detailed without overwhelming the AI.
Exactly. And just like with any skill, practice makes perfect.
Sure.
The more you experiment with different prompts,
Yeah.
the better you'll become at understanding what works and what doesn't.
This is starting to feel like learning a new language. The language of AI.
I love that analogy. And just like learning any new language,
Right.
there will be bumps along the way. She'll
Yeah.
make mistakes. You'll have to rephrase things.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll start to think in that language.
So don't be afraid to experiment. Try different approaches.
Right.
Iterate until you get the results you're looking for.
Exactly. And remember, the field of AI is constantly evolving.
I know it is.
New models are being developed all the time, and the capabilities of existing models are constantly improving. So what works today might not work tomorrow.
That's it for
It's all about staying curious and adaptable.
This brings us to another key point that's highlighted in the OpenAI guide.
Okay.
They talk about the concept of zero shot, few shot, and fine tuning.
Yes. This is where we start to dive a bit deeper into how AI models actually learn and
Sure.
process information. It's getting into the mechanics of how those massive data sets I mentioned earlier
Yeah?
are used to train the models.
Okay, break it down for me. What exactly does zero shot mean?
Imagine you're showing a child a picture of a fruit they've never seen before
Yeah.
and asking them to guess what it is. They
Okay.
might use their existing knowledge of other fruits to make an educated guess.
Right.
That's essentially what zero-shot learning is.
Got it.
You're asking the AI to perform a task without giving it any specific examples.
So it's like a test of the AI's general knowledge and ability to reason.
Exactly. Now, let's say you show the child a few more examples of that new fruit. and they start to get a better idea of what it is.
Yeah.
That's few-shot learning. You're giving the AI a handful of examples to help it understand the task.
And I'm guessing fine-tuning takes this even further.
Fine-tuning is like giving the child a whole basket of that new fruit
Okay.
and letting them really study it. You're essentially training the AI on a specific data set
Got it.
to improve its performance on a particular task.
So it's like specializing the AI's knowledge, making it an expert in a specific area.
Precisely. And the cool thing is you can fine-tune existing AI models
Oh,
to meet your own unique needs.
This is all so fascinating, but I'm also realizing that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with this power.
Absolutely.
We're essentially shaping how AI learns and interacts with the world.
That's a crucial point, and it leads us to a topic that's often overlooked in discussions about AI.
Okay.
The potential for these models to reflect and even amplify biases
Oh, wow.
present in their training data.
I hadn't even thought about that, but it makes sense. If the data used to train the AI contains biases, those biases could show up in the AI's responses.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to be aware of this potential pitfall.
Right.
And to actively work to mitigate bias in both the training data and the prompts we create.
So it's not just about making sure our prompts are clear and specific.
Right.
It's also about making sure they're responsible and unbiased.
You've hit the nail on the head, and it's not just the responsibility of developers or data scientists.
I see.
Everyone who interacts with AI has a role to play in ensuring that it's used ethically and fairly.
This is really making me think about the bigger picture of AI and its impact on society. It's not just about cool technology and efficiency.
It's true.
It's about values ethics and the kind of future we want to create.
I couldn't agree more, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to explore the nuances and complexities of AI, and to empower everyone to use it responsibly and thoughtfully.
Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the basics of what a prompt is to the ethical considerations of AI.
Right.
It's been a whirlwind of insights and discoveries.
It has.
But I have a feeling we're not done yet.
No.
There's still so much more to explore in the world of prompt engineering.
You're absolutely right. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's possible with this powerful technology.
It's true.
And as AI continues to evolve at a rapid pace, the possibilities are truly endless.
My brain is like doing bicep curls after all.
I know, right?
We've gone from like what even IS a prompt to understanding how they actually shape AI's like thinking.
It's really a shift in mindset, isn't it?
Totally. And before the break, you brought up a really important point.
Yeah.
The potential for AI to inherit biases from its training data.
Right.
It's kind of unsettling.
It is, and it highlights why prompt engineering isn't just like a technical skill, but one with ethical dimensions too.
So how do we as prompt engineers, or even just regular folks, using AI guard against that?
Awareness is the first step.
Okay.
We need to be mindful of the potential for bias in any data set, no matter how large or seemingly neutral.
So like if I was prompting an AI to write me a job description, I should be extra careful that it doesn't accidentally use language that favors one gender or background over another.
Precisely. And it's not always intentional bias either. Sometimes it's these subtle patterns in the data that the AI picks up on.
So what's the solution? Do we need to like audit every single piece of data used to train these models?
That would be ideal, but often impractical. Thankfully, there are techniques within prompt engineering itself that help.
Okay, give me the goods. How do our prompts actually fight bias?
One way is to specifically instruct the AI to be inclusive.
Okay.
For example, you might add to your prompt, ensure the language used is gender neutral and avoid stereotypes. So we're not just telling it what to create. But also setting ground rules for how it creates it.
Exactly. It's like giving the AI an ethical framework to operate within.
That feels empowering, actually.
Yeah.
Like we're not at the mercy of whatever biases might be lurking in the data.
Right. And beyond prompts, there's also this growing field of research on debiasing algorithms and data sets themselves.
That's good to hear. Makes me feel like the tech world is taking this seriously. Not just focused on making AI smart. But good, too.
Definitely. And it's a constant evolution. As we identify new biases, we develop new methods to counteract them.
I guess that's the theme of this whole deep dive. Constant learning, both for us and for the AI we're shaping.
I think that's a great takeaway. The study notes actually refer to prompt engineering as an emergent skill. Meaning it's still being defined as we go.
So it's not like there's one right way to do it. We're all figuring this out together.
Exactly.
Which is exciting and a bit daunting, honestly. But also incredibly liberating It means there's room for creativity,
Oh, yeah.
experimentation, and even for individuals to make a real impact.
Think about it that anyone who learns this language of prompting
Right.
can potentially influence the direction of AI development.
Absolutely. That's why we need diverse voices in this field.
I agree.
Different perspectives, different values.
Yeah.
That's what will make AI truly beneficial for all.
Well, listeners, I don't know about you, but this deep dive has been mind-expanding.
I know, it's a lot.
From basic prompts to ethical considerations, we've uncovered a whole new world of possibilities and responsibilities.
And we've barely scratched the surface as AI continues to evolve.
I know.
So will the art and science of prompt engineering.
It's true.
Who knows what amazing applications we'll see in the years to come.
That's the best part. It's an open invitation to keep learning,
Yes.
keep experimenting, and maybe even shape the future of AI ourselves. So go forth and prompt wisely, everyone.
And thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time.